Mm. I tend to grumble with the word legacy because sometimes the legacy, we always think legacy is the things that we might leave physically, whether it's the houses or the cars or a name. But for me, I think it should go beyond that. About what are the lives that you touched and transformed? What are the people that you leave behind that were transformed? And did I finish completely what I was supposed to do?
Saseni mkofiti, karibuni sana to my YouTube channel. I am your host Celestine Dinda. It's always a pleasure every Wednesday when I get to sit here and talk to you. And it's even better, it gets even more fulfilling when I have a guest on set. So today I have an amazing guest on set. Her name is Mary Njoki. I hope you're going to get to learn something from her. She's an entrepreneur, so founders, watu wa biashara. This is where we get a notebook and a pen. We hope to learn. And I hope, we get to feel inspired. Karibu sana, Mary.
Thank you.
I'd like you to introduce yourself to that camera. And I would want you to tell us one thing you hope we will get at the end of this episode, like at the end of this interview. What do you want us? What do you want to leave us with?
So my name is Mary Njoki. I'm a visionary, and I founded different platforms, but the most known one is Glasshouse PR. And it's a platform. It's a strategic communication firm, which I started at the age of 23. It's been 14 years now. And I hope at the end of the conversation, anyone who is watching will be inspired to know that they are unique in their own way, and that you can start out something despite the challenges that look like they are stopping you, or the barriers or the limitations that we tend to have in our minds. So looking forward to an amazing episode. Yeah.
Thank you. At 23. Wow. Wow. Who is Mary? Like, who is Mary Njoki? Leave alone, living out Glasshouse and all the business things. Mary Njoki, Anna. Ni nani?
Mary Njoki, who is Mary Njoki? I tend to say I'm a vanguard. I'm a forerunner. And I tend to go to places where I break barriers for other people to get into those places. So that's who I can describe myself as for today. There are many other things.
Breaking barriers. I love that. So growing up, did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
No.
Like what? How was your growing up journey? Briefly.
It's like heaven and earth. Very
World apart.
Like quite different. When I was growing up, because of where I grew up, I thought I'd be a primary school teacher because that's what I'd seen. And I think the most inspiring person I'd seen was the head teacher. So I'm like, if I really, really have to inspire to be something, it's to become the head teacher. So that's what I thought I would be. I never knew anything to do with entrepreneurship or business. I never saw anyone who did business or was an entrepreneur. Yeah.
So looking back now, is there something between the Mary who wanted to be a head school teacher and now the Mary who is an entrepreneur? Do you find like there's a connection somewhere? Are you realizing that there was something that I did not see it back then, but right now that you're an entrepreneur, you finally get to understand why this was like this?
Well, when I was growing as a child, I had a lot of questions. And also I used to, again, which I can share, my name Mary means rebellion. And rebellion is, just going against the systems and the cultures that have been set by, by society and by men. So I knew I had a lot of questions, and I'd go and I'd be against certain things. So I was known to be stubborn, quote unquote, but it's not the stubbornness that it's like one day I went to my mom when I was 11 years old, and I told her, I don't think I like this Catholic thing. I'm no longer a Catholic. So stuff like that. So I'll just question things, and then I'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore. So so even in that period, when I was thinking I want to be a teacher or a head teacher, that's where inspirations were, because that's what you'd seen. But at some point, of course, I switched when I became a teenager, and I'm like, no, there must be something more in life than what I'm seeing. Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
many of us wanted to be teachers.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the head teacher.
Yeah,
So you not just a teacher, but the head
teacher.
Yeah. So where now? All this is said, and after all this is said and done, we've come to building Glasshouse. Where did the journey of Glasshouse PR start? Where did it begin from?
It's a very interesting story. So I'll start with finishing high school. For some reason, I went to school early. So I finished high school at the age of 16. So, yeah. And then I did not afford to go to campus, though I got a good grade, a B. So at that point, I wanted to be a computer scientist. Now I had switched from a teacher head teacher to computer scientist. So I remember I started thinking of how I'll go to campus, blah, 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 blah. So it's in that process where I ended up going to a college. I studied IT, and then at 19, I got employed.
So after 16, you did not have to go at home at the do what promotion? Like there was no tamaking
there was.
Before going to university?
Okay, so this is a very funny story which I tell sometimes. So I went to I went to National Theatre to try acting when I finished high school. So I actually acted set books for 3 months.
Wow.
And then at that point, we could afford for me to go to a college. So I went to a college, but for some reason, by the way, when I was employed, and I've never gone for any job interview. So I finished college immediately. A lady told me, oh, I have this friend who has this small software company. Would you like to go and work with her? I was like, yeah. So I went, met this lady. She offered me, I think it was 10K or thereabout. I'm like, this is like $1 million. I'm like, yeah. So that's why I started working. So the interesting thing is when I started working with her, she took me to the marketing department. So I'm trying to connect to you how I got to PR. And I was not happy because I really wanted to
do this
do
IT.
tech. Yeah, I wanted to be behind the computer and, creating softwares. But she put me in the marketing department, and then she said, because of your temperament, I want you to be marketing. I'm like, well, what do you mean? So I grumbled, complained for a few months, but I ended up becoming like their best salesperson and their best business development person. So that's how my journey into business started. So there are meetings I'd be sent to, and I realized when I go to these meetings, I'd be like, oh, business people are like human beings like me, and like I thought they were like special people who stay somewhere and you don't meet at any place. So that's where my mind started shifting, and I started now thinking, oh, I can create some things, and then ideas started flowing. Yeah.
And that's when you started now working on the Glasshouse, or it came in later?
It came a bit later. So this time I'm 19. Between 19 and 22, I worked in 3 companies. So I worked in that IT firm. Then I went into a second IT firm. Then on my third round, at this time I started querying inside of me. I don't even remember how I came across PR. I just started querying, oh, what's PR? How, what's this thing? I can't explain how I came about this PR. But then I met this lady who was an image consultant, and then she ran a PR firm. So I told her, oh, can I come work for you? As I told you, I've never gone for a job interview. So I went, did a whole presentation for her, and then I took to her. I'm like, so I've researched your company. I think this is where you guys are. I think this is where you need to go, especially with digital media coming up. So I'm ready to work for you guys. And that's why I got my first job in the PR industry. It was a small PR firm. So she employed me, and that's where I started my journey.
All this while, from 19, were you getting paid?
Yes. So remember when I was 19, this lady offered me
small 10.
Like, this is $1 million.
So is that what you took yourself with to school? Yeah, IT. Are you working as you're going to school? I missed that bit.
Oh, sorry. So
After 16?
After 16, I went to National Theatre, started acting. Then we could now afford for me to go to college.
Okay.
But then I when I started working, when I was trying to figure out this PR thing, I now went to university to study comms and PR. So at this point, we were now sharing costs in terms of paying for my part-time classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I saw somewhere, I don't know whether it's correct or it's wrong.
It's true. I know
You started with 6,000?
Yes.
Kuna story kama hiyo mahali?
Yes, it's true.
Hebu nielezee 6,000.
So I want to take you back. Before by there, I went to work in a PR agency. I was fired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a story where I got fired. We were reporting in January 2012, and then we got text and we were told, oh, Mary, Celestine, and the other person do not report tomorrow. I'm like, wow. But I was very happy because I'm like, at least it's not me who quit. That's when I went and looked for this lady who had a PR agency, and then I did a presentation. So my transition to Glasshouse is from this PR agency now to Glasshouse. So I'm working with them. I'm trying to tell them, this is 2012. I'm telling them, digital media is the next big thing in Kenya, in Africa. No one is listening to me. So I got frustrated. And the reason I could see this was of my background in studying IT. So I was trying to tell them, when we can merge comms and IT, and digital media is the next big thing. They're like, like they would hear, but they were not. Yeah. So I got really frustrated. At some point, I didn't go back to work. And then when they called me, I was behaving like a Gen Z. When they called me, I was like, I'm not coming back. So that's how I ended up transitioning. So they never paid me. So all the money I had was 6,000. From 19 to 23, I'd saved 6,000 shillings.
At least you had saved. At least the power, at least the mindset of saving was there.
Yeah. So at that point, I used, people think that capital is money, but also capital is networks, the skills that you have. So when I transition now, I start back home. I went back to the village. My village. I actually grew up in a village called Garariga. That is relevant. Garariga. So I went back to the village and I'm like, okay, what do I do? But then I knew there's something I'm supposed to be doing.
That is 2013?
2012.
You went back to the village in 2012?
Yeah.
To start now. Ulirudi sasa a fresh start.
Yeah.
So the 6,000 now, how did you, like, when you went back to the village, what was your plan? Did you have like a plan? Like, this is where I'm headed? At that name, Glasshouse PR. Like, did you even have all these visions?
I didn't have the name. So what happened, remember I told you before I was querying image consultation, PR. So in 2010, when I was doing business development and sales, I'd started a company called Diva Image Experts.
Diva. That was well thought out.
Was
Diva.
And so at this point, I was in a K crew and all these things were happening around musicians and artists. So I was like, let me do image consulting for these artists and blah, blah, blah. But it never worked. I think I made 500 shillings a whole year because it's only one guy who paid me.
The rest?
I mean, like,
Exposure.
I wasn't that good.
Okay.
It wasn't my strength.
Okay.
You can say that. Yeah. So when now I've quit, I have this name, Diva Image Experts. So I'm like, this is the name I'm going to use. So remember, I'd done a lot of sales and business development. So I'm like, let me start emailing the people I have been meeting through my sales work. So I start emailing people with, hi, I have a new company. It's called Diva Image Experts. We do social media marketing and management. Two people are like, the name, what you're doing, they're not matching. And then there's a guy who calls like, surely, what kind of a name is this? Because you see, I'm not like even, it's not in the entertainment world. It would have made sense in the entertainment world. I'm going into the business world. I'm approaching CEOs and I'm telling them my company is called Diva Image Experts. and I do social media networking and whatever I was doing, social media management, etc. So one guy called me, he's like, Mary, just come to my office tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So I went to his office, told me, what do you want your company to represent? I'm like, transparency, clear communication. It's like, but you have to change this name.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? Like, then he told me, let's write names. We kept writing. And then as I'm walking out of the door, he texted me, what about Glass House? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. I ran to Sharia House. Those days, there was no e-citizen. Sharia House.
Was that one registered, the Diva?
Yeah.
It was also registered?
Yeah, it had been registered at Sharia House. I was very determined to register. Anyway, I ran to Sharia House, registered it, and that was it. The journey began. So going back to the village with my 6,000 Kenya shillings, I used it to buy a modem, which didn't even work in my village. So I had to borrow money to actually.
So even the 6,000 did not do anything.
Ilipotea tu. I borrowed money, bought another modem, then I started creating my own website because I understood tech. So the background in tech was very helpful. So I created the Glasshouse PR website. I started marketing everywhere. Yeah.
Is that the time where we...
No.
Okay, not
That's
yet.
way later.
So when did your first client come?
Immediately, but there were small companies. I mean, remember, I'm talking to these from these people I had met through my sales journey. So I emailed them again. I'm like, hi, my company is now called Glass House PR, and we do social media management. Can I come and help you with your social media? Yeah, I got, but like my first client was paying me 5K per month.
But that was amazing back
I'm
in
like,
the
it's
day.
my company.
Yeah.
At least it's not someone else's company.
You're the tech person, you're the website builder, you're the...
Yes.
So 5K.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Is there a lesson that you took from that first client? Like, your Kwanza 5K. Did it show you maybe there's something? If this one is willing to commit 5,000?
Yes, it encourages you. I think that the way I'm saying it sounds like a joke, but actually that day when the guy paid me, I'm like, actually, it's my company. He's paid me like,
it's working.
Wow, people can actually pay you. I know it's not a lot, but people can actually pay you. Of course, I learned a lot, diligence, because I used to have to travel all the way from the village to Riverside Drive on Fridays to take him through what we've done through the week and for him to approve the content. Then I'd go back.
How far is your place to Nairobi?
It wasn't far, but it's in the village. You walk 15 minutes, you get a matatu. It's a long...
Wayakiwe?
It's on Nairobi Nakuru Highway, yes.
Nairobi Nakuru.
After Limuru.
So Kukuja town wasn't that...
It wasn't that hectic, but it was.
It was.
It depends with how you look at it, but it was.
So Fridays you come.
You come, you sit with him, show him content, go through stuff, then you go back. So, yeah.
Then you go back, work from home.
Yes. The new modem was working.
So I understand why you said you break barriers because your commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. At what point did you start now getting these big brands? Did it take long?
So a few months, my story is quite interesting, but anyway, a few months later, because I'm doing a lot of marketing online, I get a call from...
And online, you mean Instagram, Facebook?
No, we didn't have Instagram then. It was Facebook and a lot of Twitter, actually, and LinkedIn for Glasshouse. But mostly I'd position Glasshouse a lot on X. X was, when it was Twitter, it was quite interesting.
Okay.
So I get a call. So we are being, because of that marketing, we are being optimized on Google. So we get a call from Google itself. So they're like, hi, I would like to talk to Mary. So I'm acting like, it's this company. I'm like, hold for Mary. She'll be with you shortly. Anyway, so Google called and they asked for me to go for a pitch. I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't even have a team. How do I go about this? So at this point, this whole period, I'm also doing part-time classes at Daystar. Again, traveling back and forth. So I was like, okay, let me go to Daystar and see who I can pick. So I went to Daystar, pick like some 5 kids I knew. And then I'm like, hi guys, from today, all of you work for Glasshouse. And this is a pitch that has come. We have to work on this pitch.
This Okay, you've called them kids, but I'm assuming they're your classmates.
Yeah.
In the same,
Well,
like
they
you're
were
in
a
the
bit
same
younger
level.
than me.
Okay.
Oh, maybe they're even my age. It's because the way my life was so
Okay.
accelerated. I always thought people were kids, but actually they were the same age.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like 20s. Yeah, we are in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we go and we look at the pitch. We start working on it. And then we are told, we are given a date by Google. We go present. The guys loved it. We actually went all the way to the final, but so we got we got to the final, and then I was called for like, you know, that meeting where you're supposed to close the business. So I was called for a meeting, and then I was supposed to meet the marketing manager, either Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, Sub-Saharan Africa. And then she was white. She came. Was that necessary? Anyway, she came.
It just came out, so it's okay.
She came.
Uh-huh.
And she looked at me, and then she like, so first of all, I was so tiny. She like, so you're the owner of Glass House? I'm like, yeah. She looked at me. Anyway, at that point, I knew I was not getting
Yeah.
that business. But so I went home. I'm like, wow. I thought, because for 3 months, we had come up with ideas. Like, for us to be shortlisted to that level, you know, we were good. We had even started negotiating and speaking about how much they're going to pay us. So I even told the guys, you know, you need to open dollar accounts because I'll be
Yeah,
paying you in
in
dollars, you know.
dollars.
But after that meeting, I got a sense, this is not going to go anywhere.
Because of that's how small you looked.
And maybe I looked like what are you going to do? But also there was another angle. I hadn't incorporated the company. So it was just a business name. So that was also a very good lesson to learn. So I'm dealing with this big brand. Of course, by the time you're doing proper contracts with them, you need to be incorporated. You need to have proper papers. So I only had the business name, Glasshouse PR. It wasn't Glasshouse PR Limited. Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice lesson to have.
Yeah.
That was in
2013.
So I'm assuming you did not get this.
Yeah, we did not get the job, but it came with a lot of lessons. I remember even sitting there and discovering the difference between marketing and communication and PR, especially for global brands, which I didn't know. We saw them implement some of the ideas.
That was my next question. Because if you are this good,
Yes.
definitely they
Yes.
would still proceed with you. And you didn't know about NDAs and whatnot.
Yeah, we saw some.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the hard lessons.
That's an interesting lesson. So I remember I went back to my village in the bed. I slept. I'm like, I'm done with this Glass House. Then on the third day, I woke up. I'm like, let's go.
Let's get back.
Yeah.
Let's get back.
So there used to be, that's the first year. Then I started doing a lot of pro bono work. I just felt, especially around the entertainment industry, which it made sense later because of the people and the doors that opened. And the people I met then, especially guys in the media, guys who are now in Pan-African media, I think the relationships were needed. So the first 2 years were quite interesting. A lot of, and the best thing is I was just 24, 25, didn't have a lot of responsibilities, we could say that. And I was willing to do whatever because there was this conviction in me that this is a platform, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And the fact that Google called me, it encouraged me. I'm like, if Google called me, who else will call me? And within a few months, Facebook emailed us. By the time they emailed, I'm sure they emailed many other agencies, but I didn't have work. So I responded immediately. And I knew because of the experience I had with Google, how they look at communication. So created a proper communication proposal for them, and we got the job. So that was really, it was now 2014. I remember 2014 Feb. And that was really amazing. It wasn't even about the money. It's that you're working with one of the biggest companies in the world. And you just started the other day. They didn't go to a company that had been there for 15 years. So that was quite awesome. Yeah.
There's something you've mentioned I'd love to know. You didn't know back then the difference between marketing and PR comms.
Yeah.
Will tell us the difference.
Okay, where we've gotten to their margin. But at that point, for example, we went to tell them that we can do events, we can do, what other things? We can do billboards, activations. And they were like, So Dorothy, who is a good
I
friend,
know her. Google.
yeah, she was like, Mary, that's marketing. You know, you need to understand that when you come to a global company, PR and communication is totally different. You're creating key messages. You need to think around the narrative. You need to think around how you are going to engage the media, etc. So she really taught me at that point. Yeah.
That's a good lesson for entrepreneurs and
Yeah.
business people.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do these things. Maybe sometimes you don't know whether you're marketing or you're communicating.
Yeah.
You don't know. But yeah, they're merging somewhere. But
Yeah.
yes. So now, after getting your first client, Facebook, what are some of, I'd love to know, is there a money mistake you've made? Because now I'm assuming right now money is coming in. Money has come in. Was there a money mistake you've done along the way?
I think those days was to undercharge. That's what I'd say.
You didn't know your worth.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, let's undercharge. Not undercharge, or rather when they come and they give you like 10 shillings, you're like, oh yeah, it's Facebook. Let's work with the 10 shillings.
But did you have a team?
At that point, maybe 2-3 people.
Okay.
Because remember, you didn't get the Google thing, so people dropped.
Okay.
So we are like 2-3 people. And yeah, and then Viber came. Viber was like a WhatsApp
What?
app. Do you remember Viber? So they came immediately after Facebook. They were like a WhatsApp for the phone. It was like an app for messaging on phone. So they also came immediately after. So now, first of all, we started like knowing our niche. It's like we are working on tech PR,
yeah.
which was quite interesting because I loved tech. Okay, I love tech, so it was quite interesting to work with such. Many mistakes, I'll say. That aspect of undercharging, but throughout the journey, it was more of who I was so interested in what I'm doing than what I'm being paid for a long time. Yeah, yeah.
So we stop undercharging. By
Yeah.
now, I'm sure you know how to
Yes.
charge and quote.
Yes.
It's been 14 years with Glasshouse.
Yes.
14 years ni mingi.
Yeah, we are turning 14 in August. Yes, so it's 14.
What is the one thing you can say, especially you, from you've built it from, like you've done it alone, from there back home
With God.
with God. Yeah,
Yes.
of course, with God in the picture.
Yeah.
What is the one lesson, especially leadership? Because now your farm is big. Now you have how many? From 3, you have how many? Like
We are a Pan-African agency now, so we don't just have a team in Kenya. We have teams across different markets in Africa. Yeah.
Wow. What is the one leadership lesson or skill a leader needs to have?
There are many you learn as you go because, you're, I mean, the things nobody taught you, the things you come into contact with when you're learning how to grow a business. So dealing with people, I've had a lot of HR issues, by the way, to the point I think I've been taken to court. I remember 2020, I was in court. Thank God it was online. Anyway, so there are a lot of lessons you learn, how to manage people, how to learn to get experts to help you. So because of that mentality of wanting to do everything, so you think you can do everything. So even when you're hiring, you don't hire right, and then people will sue you because the contracts are not proper. So now that learning how to now involve experts, and sometimes they don't have to be expensive. They can be people just to help you with certain matters like the contracts. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you say, hey, now you're not even in Kenya, from home, beyond Kenya, and outside.
Yeah.
So are you still dealing with tech? Amasai,
No,
now you're dealing with so many brands.
Because of how our continent is and how our market is, it's not like in the US, there are PR agencies who will be like, I only deal with tech.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, I mean, tomorrow someone will come and they'll be like, they're in government and they want you to help them with that. So I'm open, and we've always been open. So I think we are looking into our portfolio the other day. We're like, we worked with over 100 brands, and they are in different distinct industries, whether it's
Manufacturing.
retail, yeah.
I'm assuming you have already with your team, there's a culture. Like there's a culture in your company, there's a culture in the Glasshouse PR. How do you come up with such a culture? Especially for someone who is looking into expanding, not only now in Nairobi, Kisumu, now beyond Kenya. How do you come up with such a culture, a company culture?
It's learning as you're growing, but what now has come recently, it's to have like a core team where you teach them whether it's the values you believe in, you teach them, you show them the vision so that they carry the vision, so they become leaders for other people. So you're not necessarily going to be able to reach out to hundreds of people at a go, or not hundreds of people are going to see the picture you're seeing, but then having like a small group of people where you can keep training them, you keep showing them these are your values, this is what you believe in, and their mindset now changes and it's transformed, so you're thinking almost the same, so you're aligned. So when someone else comes under them, or they're working with someone else in another place, they teach them those ways. I mean, it's not an easy thing. It's because you're dealing with people who have learned different things, so they have to unlearn certain things. So it's an interesting process. But what I've seen recently, I'm still learning. It's having a core team, and then now you keep impacting your knowledge, your vision, etc. to them. Yeah.
Now, Mimi as a freelancer, Mary, me as Celestine, I'd love maybe in future to be maybe in such a position.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that I need to shift? Because you see, as freelancers, most of the times, even the people, they don't take our businesses as serious businesses.
Yeah.
You see what you had back then, all the way to where you are right here. I'm sure there's a mindset, there's a shift that had to take place.
Yeah.
What is that one thing? What can you tell me if I'd love to get to such a place?
It's to start seeing the accurate picture, and sometimes the shift comes as you go. So for example, now at that time the Facebooks are coming. At that point, I'd gone somewhere in Ethiopia for a conference, and it's that conference my mind shifted, and I'm like, oh, Glasshouse is not just, because for some reason I met people from different countries, and they're like, oh. So I was very passionate. So I'd tell everyone what I'm doing. So they're like, oh, this is what you're doing. Can you help us? I'm like, this guy asked me, he was from Zambia. And also some guy, he was called Uche Agu. He used to be a Nigerian artist. He was big in Kenya, at some point, South Africa. So he asked me, oh, can you help me with my PR? So at that point, my mind shifted to, oh, Glasshouse is not just a Kenyan company. It's a Pan-African agency. So I can actually work, there are no borders in what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's through going through certain experiences, but also allowing yourself to be like a child. Don't think you know everything. Always learn as you go. Learn in different situations, and be willing to whether to morph as you're going. Because one of the challenge I've seen with entrepreneurship, even me, sometimes you can be stuck in an idea because you think it's right, yet there's an opportunity for you to embrace something new. Yeah. So it's that mindset of embracing something new, that mindset of be like a child in your mind, even as you create, as you grow. And more so, seeing the clear picture. What am I building? So to be honest, that day when I was in the village starting with my 6,000 Kenya shillings, I didn't know Facebook were coming 2 years down the line. But then as Facebook came, now you start believing, and you're like, oh yeah, there's actually proof that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Then you can see footprints of the conviction that you have. So now you start following it. You're like, hey, if this Facebook came, there must be something I'm doing. I might not see it. So you keep believing, and you keep, learning, be incorporated. So those lessons that come, implement them, be incorporated, so that you work with Facebook or the next company that will come. So, so over the years, it's just learning, being open to learn, and taking those lessons seriously. Yeah.
I love how you're saying keep building, like keep learning. If there's a woman out there, let us take it closer home, who maybe has this, say 100,000 Kenya shillings, and she wants to create wealth from that, because back in the day 6,000 was a lot. So tuanze sahi na 100K.
It can't be equated to Kwani 2012 is back in what?
6K was good. Like with your age,
It was some of
6K,
them. Okay, fine.
6K. Wacha sahi tuanze na 100. I don't want to say someone with 6K. I want to say someone with 100,000.
20K, sir.
Yeah. I'm a 50K.
Okay.
And they want to start their journey to wealth. What would you advise such a person? How do you see this turning out to be?
I tell people not to start with the money because, first of all, I don't think if you interview even most guys across the world who are wealthy or have built companies, they never started it out to make money. I didn't start out now I'm going into it to make money. There's a conviction I had about what
There's
I'm
someone
supposed to
who
be.
is moving in this room, but yeah.
Oh,
GPS, sorry.
sorry.
Yeah. It's not about the money.
So it's not about you don't start business to make money. Though you'll make it.
We need it.
You will make it.
It's a factor. It's a what? Nika inakupatia hiyo motivation. You will make it, but don't start with it.
Don't start that I'm starting a business so that I can make money. When you interview the wealthiest guys who have built businesses, when you ask them, did you start this because you wanted to make money? They'll be like, no, I started out because I was passionate about this and this thing, and that's why I got here. Or I was looking for a solution to this and this and that, and that's how I ended up here. So when I look at my journey, I don't think I was thinking about money. Like even that 6,000 was a lot. That's why you can even charge someone 5,000 a month. I'm sure the value I was bringing on board was much more than that.
That's true.
But then I was so passionate about this digital transformation that I was like, you need your business to be seen. You need to have a Facebook page. That's how I was thinking. And I was thinking of how they will get value from me, giving them my services. So I would say if anyone is starting, you have 50,000 and you're like, what should I do? I don't think that's the place to start. The place one should start with is you can even look at your environment. What are these things that you look at and you're like, they kind of piss you off and you're like, what solution can I bring to this area differently? Maybe someone will say government. I don't know. Maybe the government is corrupt and it's irritating them. I don't know whether that. Okay. You can even come up with something like that. You never, a solution for that. So always think like that. Because the story I tell is it's conviction that kept you going. Because you can put in that 50K and it disappears tomorrow.
That's true.
So, or you go to Google, you're there pitching and then they don't give you the job. So do you close the company? So building a company has to do with much, much more than the money you want to make. I mean, there are days you won't even have probably money to pay your staff, but you'll have to keep waking up to know that there's a vision, there's something greater than making money. So for me, I'd push them to go back and think deeper on why do I want to start a business, and if it's a business, what am I good at, what am I talented in, whether it's music, could it be that's my way into building something different from what has been built. So yeah.
Okay, I love that. I think passion when you do something that you love, automatically somehow along the way money might find you. Now might because it's not you're not assured, but sana it will find you because you'll give it your all, so somehow money will find you.
Okay.
Having discussed all this, there's one thing that I think staki ku assume you're in a space as a woman and you've taken up this role so nicely. If I'm from where I sit, you've done it so well. We have so many women who are afraid of taking such spaces. Of course, they doubt themselves. They feel like they are not capable of. I'm sure you've had to overcome so many things. So, Mesema, you went to Zambia and you're not taking up those spaces. What can you tell the women, especially those of us who are afraid, scared, who doubt themselves, yet they are capable?
There are a couple of things, but one, as you started speaking, that I thought of is sometimes we are always thinking about the other person, and the other person is not thinking about you. For example, when I started out, it's way later, many years later, I was like, oh, there are people who are actually, because 2015, I had this whole story where I was trending because of working with someone who was, the brand was not authentic. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I trended and people were abusing me, etc. on social media. This is 2015 on
Oh,
X.
really?
And I remember thinking, oh, I thought I was a nice person, and people thought of me in a
As a
certain,
bad person.
in a certain way. So I remember I had to deal with those feelings of, I'm actually thinking about other people more than I'm thinking. I'm thinking about what other people are thinking about me. Yet they're not necessarily thinking about me, or the perception or the angle they look at the story is not even the real story. So how do I actually now start building that strength inside of me, so that it's not about anyone else, it's about what is required of me. And as I started growing, of course I had to overcome, and I got to a place where I'm like, oh, now I'm okay with, you can say whatever you want to say, but I won't let it affect me. But moving from there, it's to, again, we've gone to conferences across the world where we are talking about how women are not believing in themselves. And I see where it comes from, definitely from our antecedents, where we've come from and the things maybe we had to go through. But how do we actually now come to a place where we are like, understand who I am? I've seen certain things play out, whether it's in the past, whether it's I start a company and it's attracting global companies. It means there's something I have in me that that I can do. I should not let anything outside of me bring me down. And now I should now follow this journey, believing that if I was able to do that, there's so much more that I can do. But one thing that I know brings women down, sometimes we go to these conferences and we are talking about, oh, we need, I don't know, 50% women in the boardroom. Like we're having conversation, and I'm thinking, why are we having these conversations? Why are we even talking? Now we spend a lot of time talking about other people and what's the word? Not even thinking of what we should do. And the reason I brought the 2015 one was I discovered, oh, there were people who are now trolling me from other PR agencies. And then I'm like, oh, kumbe the other PR agencies that exist. Because in my mind, I was so focused on what I was
On
doing.
yours.
I forgot that they are like competitors. They are like all these people who would like to bring you down. So
Yeah, so that you can pave way.
you can pave way, So it's more of when you're not thinking about other people and you're thinking about what you're supposed to be doing. And then now you get to a place you actually the one who will even transform the whole industry. For example, whatever we are doing now with Africa PR Week, we are bringing all these other agencies to a global platform, including Glasshouse is part of that. The next agency, we are inviting all agencies. We are not bagwine. So you discover when you don't think about other people and you want to bring a solution. You're not necessarily doing it for the money. I mean, I've walked away from deals that didn't make sense. I mean, there are many stories I can share. But it's more of who am I? As I said, if I'm a vanguard, if I'm a forerunner, what are these things that I'm supposed to break into and for other people to come following? So there are so many aspects of that. But instead of me spending time, is it meditating or thinking through who am I? I'm spending a lot of time thinking about
what are they
hey,
saying?
Sere ameniangalia, what are Sere saying? And now we lose the plot. So, yeah.
And I think there's something that has caught me. You've said instead of us women spending a lot of time on saying, oh, we need 50%, oh, we need... What do you think are the conversations we need to start having as women?
I love that. Yeah, I love that because I went to a conference again and it was this whole thing of women in the boardroom. And in my mind, I'm like, first of all, being a leader, it's not about a title, right?
Yeah.
And the way a woman was created, we carry wombs. We will always be the ones who will bring out the new thing that has not been seen. Look at the physical aspect. You bring out a child that has never been seen before, meaning that as a woman, you can actually be, I wanted to say the secretary, but you are the boss of that place because the things that even move there or the things that are happening in that company, you're the one who is determining. It's not that you are the CEO. The CEO can even follow your lead because of understanding this is my role as a secretary. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm a leader in this thing because now the whole, it's a lie that, oh, you need to be a CEO, you need to have this role to be a leader. No, the way we were created, and we all know, and if we actually do proper investigation, if we look at whether it's presidents or leaders of this big company, they always would say this thing, there's a woman behind them or something. There's always the power. If we only understood the power we have as women, and we took time to have these conversations of, I am a woman, I was made different. There's a reason I came with a womb. The male doesn't have a womb. They cannot bring out something new. I'm the one who has the ability to bring something new into the world, whether it's ideas, whether it's, innovations. And if you search, even like internet was discovered by a woman. Am I wrong? Someone will. Yeah. So if you search, even in history, some of these life-changing innovations were brought out by women. So we spend a lot of time focusing on the wrong things rather than sitting down and thinking, okay, Celestine, what's unique about you? What are these graces in you that have not yet been discovered, or enablements, or passions, or can we focus on that? And then you become the best version of yourself. Mary, what is this thing? Who are you? What is this thing that you carry that has not yet been discovered? Can we focus on that? We come into this summit and we work like that. I don't have to be the president, but as I'm doing my Africa PR Week, I know I'm shaping narratives of how people will view Kenya or will view Africa. I'm bringing people from wherever, from Europe, from the US. They'll start thinking, oh, I've never, and they're telling me, I've never been to Kenya. Oh my God. And then they come, they're like, wow, I thought Kenya was like this. Oh, so it's like this. And you guys are smart. So I'm already doing my thing at my, where I am, and as per the enablement I have. Yeah.
I love that. And do you think women, we can have a balance? Do you think we can get a balance between balancing motherhood, womanhood, our businesses? Ama we need to define this balance thing?
For me, I don't believe that balance concept is real. Because first of all, it's someone who came up with it. Work-life balance. I'm like, what is that? Because when you look at a woman, especially because of the way we were made, I can easily multitask. And then if I'm able to actually focus and handle things that are required at a particular time, what is the balance about? And if you look carefully, it's a concept that came about. It has to do with probably funding and conversations that go around. That's why I told you, as a Mary, I come and ask questions. Okay, why are we talking about work-life balance? What's that? Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Does
it mean I have to drop one to pick another one?
Yeah, because if I'm performing, then why do you need a balance?
Why do I need a balance? Okay. Yeah, because I can be able to say, okay, maybe this morning I need to look at the kids, I need to go whatever workout, I need to go to work, I need to do, and I'll be able to do it.
Everything, yeah.
I'll be able to do everything. That's how a woman was built. And I don't know why they don't say for men work-life balance. Oh, it's coming up. I don't know. So I don't know why it has to be.
I haven't seen it, but that's when I've never seen how do you balance being a dad?
Yeah.
How do you balance fatherhood and office?
Yeah.
It's always on us.
Yeah.
When you go to the gym, how are you running and how you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what is this balance thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are concepts we have to question, and this, we spend a lot of conversations in conferences talking about them, and you're like, no, there's nothing like that. It's a false concept from where I sit. And I sat in a global summit and I said, I don't believe in that. It's false. And everyone was like, what? What do you mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So where do you see Mary Njoki 2 years from now? Like, what's your... I know that question sounds very cliche, but I would love 14 years, like from ule wa kutoka huko, Kutamak, all the way to River Road to show your client, from 5,000 to now having branches all over.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself 2 years from now? Just 2 years from now.
Wow. So I'll say one who is transformed completely and has truly brought transformation to whether it's the companies or the platforms that I have and the people that I'm working with. And for me, the journey has been, the more I've grown in the inside, or the more I'm realizing or discovering who I am, the more I see other people also discovering it, people who are around me, and the more I see platforms like Glasshouse, Africa PR Week, etc. also transform. So I would say having grown much more, because I can sit here and say I know everything, yet I don't know, So learning. So I can't even say, I can't give you like a picture of this is where I will be, but my prayer is that I'll have really learned. I would have really transformed to become a better version than I am today. And it will be evident with whether it's the people that I interact with, whether it's the companies that I'm interacting with.
What in terms of legacy?
Yeah.
What would you love us to like? What is that one thing that you're building that you would want it to outlive you? Why are you
Good question.
Oh, why are you
Let
smiling?
me
Or
take-
sip some
sip-
chocolate.
Sips my hot chocolate, which is no longer hot.
It is not.
I tend to grumble with the word legacy because sometimes the legacy, we always think legacy is the things that we might leave physically, whether it's the houses or the cars, or a name. But for me, I think it should go beyond that. About what are the lives that you touched and transformed? What are the people that you leave behind that were transformed? And did I finish completely what I was supposed to do? That would be my...
So that is the one thing you'd love it to outlive. Like when Mary was here, manze hatukuwa tuna some people to say such things, not necessarily property
Yes.
or tangible things, but
Yeah.
the memories, the lives you'll have touched.
Yes.
Utaki kutuachia like glass house now. Oh.
It will be there.
Okay.
It will outlive.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to
I'm
Trying to be humble.
I'm trying to put emphasis on that as we live this life, it shouldn't be about a person or the physical thing they left. It should be more about, did I finish what I was supposed to do? One, and were people transformed and changed because they interacted with me or interacted with the company?
Okay.
Yeah.
So say 5 years from now, a young girl who is 16 years old is watching this episode. I'm someone who is 19, 21, 23, watching this episode. What is that one lesson you'd love them to get from this episode? Yeah.
I think it's to just encourage them to start where they are. Number one, not to be afraid, not to let any limitations block them from where they're supposed to go. But most important, to look into themselves and to start discovering their identity, to start discovering who they are. Because even at that age, 23, 24, 22, 23, 24, the thing that was big in my mind is, by the way, why was I created? Like, that's a question I started asking. What's my purpose? And I know it sounds cliche. And people have, it has morphed to many different things. But if you start and discover inside of you and discover what exactly is it that was created to do, you'll start seeing enablement in you. And it's the story of where now it's like God comes and now starts helping you, showing you, and then there's what we call infallible proof, and you're like, okay, this proof, okay, let's keep going, and that conviction that makes you want to wake up every day to do what you are supposed to have done. Yeah.
So Mary, I'd love to know, was there a season when you were building Glasshouse PR, your life or your personal life was falling apart, but you were still needed to show up for your business? And if there was, how did you navigate such a season?
So it's quite, since we had a conversation around work-life balance, I think for me, I don't even have a separation between, and I understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
But what I'd call personal is probably like that time I trended and I was feeling so bad inside of me. And for me, I think it's for a week, I was like, am I supposed to be building this company? And then there are all these people who are trolling me. No, I'm feeling so bad inside of me. But then it's the lessons I got out of there. How to not think, how to, number one, learn from that and ask yourself, why am I even having these feelings? Because someone else said that. So it means I care so much about what other people are saying about me. Two, how do I manage, because life will bring certain, or rather as you live life, certain things will come at you. How do I now learn how to be above these things, like an ego,
Yeah.
when the storm comes, you're always on top,
Yeah.
because storms will come.
Yeah.
So how do I always learn to have that the ego aspect, to be always flying above everything. So for me, this processes made me become stronger in the inside. And yes, the company, for some reason, because as I said, I was asking what am I supposed to be doing, and there's proof. For some reason, the company sometimes would carry itself. Like now I'm trending and guys are abusing me, but at the same time, some clients are calling and they're like, wow, 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 wow. You're the one who did PR for that guy and he was all over. You must be good. Can we work with you? So it's quite interesting what I've observed over the last 14 years. And of course, maybe there are times where I've been unwell, or if that's what we can call personal. But then again, the company will still carry itself. That's when you discover, anyway, hey, this is not even about me. There's a bigger story. There's a
Yeah.
bigger picture on this. And there are people who will step in, whether it's people you've trained. Sometimes when you're tired, they step in. But then, now they come and give you strength, different strengths as you grow. So that's how I'd answer that question.
Okay, thank you. Is there a major business trajectory that you've taken, in the last 14 years, ever since you formed Glasshouse?
Yeah.
Was there a big, shift in your business?
I'd say, because again, I didn't have a picture, it's been shifting, but I know what you're asking. For example, I knew for a long time I was to get into tech or bring tech and PR together. So actually, our shift is happening now. We are building more, and I have now a tech team in house. We are building tech more. We are becoming, we are shifting. First, we shifted from a boutique PR company to a strategic communication firm. So you have to think differently when now you shift to that point, because you're thinking of, how do I shape narratives in Africa? How do I shape policies? So as you're approaching clients, you're even thinking, okay, does this client fit in with what we are supposed to be doing? So it's a huge shift even for the team members, because you're used to doing, I have to send press release. But now you're now shifting to a place of narratives.
Yeah.
What do people think about Africa? Stuff like that. So that's a big shift, but also shifting to tech. We are doing a lot of, the last 3 years, we've tech and data. So we've shifted to doing a report every year. Last year, we did the State of PR in Africa report. And this year, we also did one. And we are now interviewing PR professionals and agencies across Africa and telling them 80% of PR professionals are saying this and this about AI. So we've shifted to data and shifted to doing reports. We've also done brands report. We were interviewing people of how they think about different brands. That wasn't, well, it was okay, and how they think about government services. We're just trying to do like an index of a brand score of some sort. So we are really shifting now into that, into data, into tech, into AI. It's a big shift, so it's still ongoing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then my last question will be: imagine you've met this woman
Okay.
who is rebuilding,
Yeah.
who is starting again from scratch,
Yeah.
and she's afraid. There's something you've talked about in the episode about being scared, and she's doing it scared. What is that one thing you'd tell her to focus on, ama to do differently?
Okay. First of all, I mean, and I know it's a common phrase where people say I'm doing it scared
Afraid,
or
yeah.
afraid.
Yeah.
But really, okay, for example, I went for skydiving. I mean, before I jumped, I was afraid, but by the time I jumped, I had already let go. So there's no way you can do it. Like when you think about it, you can't do it afraid. You actually have let go of that fear. And how I'd encourage them is to get to a place where we actually, and we've been there, through the different processes where you're in situations and whether someone has taken you to court and you start shaking, then you go through it and you're like, that's not a big deal. Then, the other one can be like, yeah, I'm coming,
Been there,
been
done
there,
that.
done. I have a t-shirt, so I can come. So it's more of when fear comes at you, most people freeze. At that point, emotions are moving up and down. You don't know what to do. But then for me, it's at that point to stop and ask yourself, is this thing real? It's like, if you observe, and these are things we need to be thinking about rather than focusing on the negative. For example, one day I was afraid I saw fear coming at me. But then in my mind, I saw a picture of a balloon that had a lot of air. And it's like, if you just pop, it just disappears. That's fear. Like, it's not real. It's not a real thing that exists, because you actually will go through that situation and you'll come out better and you'll be
That's
like,
true.
what was I afraid of? So it's more of that process of, especially as women, and I know we've been taught to be afraid all our years. What we saw with the people who went ahead of us, it was fear, it was all these emotions. But if we're actually going to come into these generations and tell and give a different story, the story we can give is that when you see fear coming at you, stop and think, is this really, is it real? Or it's that balloon that when you pop, it's just air. And then if you go through that whole process, you'll realize you'll come out stronger, better. You'll inspire your neighbor. Even if you're inspiring one person, your children, I mean, that's how you ought to think. And just remembering, I keep saying, we don't understand the power that we have as women. And I used the basic, the way we were built physically, which is the basic thing, the fact that we were created with a womb. We carry so much. But then the society has always, made us think of ourselves so differently, put so many expectations on us. Okay, you need to get married by this year. You need to get a child by this year. Oh, you need to get a girl or a boy. Oh, you need to get 3 kids. There are all these things that women have been
Told
to do or to be. And then those are the things, when you look carefully, create that fear. Because you're like, and then you start thinking about my neighbor. Hey, what will my neighbor think about me when I don't do this and this, or when I do this and this? And you realize these things are all society. They've been created by society to bring you down. What if you don't look at those things and
just live your life?
Live your life. Face God. Start thinking about, who am I? Okay, this is who I am. Yeah, maybe those expectations of getting married, I mean, were not what I was supposed to do. Maybe I was to get married and not get a child. Or maybe this and this would happen. Maybe I was supposed to start a business and it fails, and then I start another one. It's a journey. It's a story my life is telling. So that's how I'd approach that question.
Wow. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think for the first time I've had someone simplify fear for me. Yeah, so now I think I know what fear is. Fear is all these other things that people expect me to do that maybe hata sio zangu. I wasn't, God did not create me to do all those things. Okay, so is there anything else you feel like you need to add? Because umegonga, like umesema almost, I feel like. Yeah, but is there something you'd love to tell the audience, the viewers?
I think, and we covered a lot when it comes to what the society expects from us. And I loved that you keep focusing on women. My encouragement for us, especially as we find ourselves in Kenya, in Africa, it's to discover the gold that we are. So for a long time, we were called the dark continent. But then everyone across the world right now is saying that Africa is the next frontier. But in this whole conversation, they keep thinking it's about the gold that we have underground, or the minerals that we have. But for me, I always think it's the people. I don't know I don't know whether we know how amazing and awesome we are as Africans, and how out of that we can, especially as women, because I'm a woman, I I'm always encouraging women that, nothing should be impossible for anyone as long as they believe. So for me, my encouragement is, if you believe, nothing shall be impossible for you. And if you stop thinking about what society has told you to be, or the expectations that your father, mother, cousins, sisters, everyone
Neighbor,
has, neighbor, including your
pastor,
neighbors,
pastor.
or the gate man, whatever expectations they have, pastor, all those people, stop thinking about those things, and, get to a place where you look at yourself and you look at God and ask him, by the way, why was I created? What purpose do I have? And then start following that. Why was I created in Kenya, by the way? Why Africa? Why is it that now everyone is saying Africa is the next frontier? Do I want to miss in that wave of Africa is the next frontier? I am the one who is the next frontier, not what we find underground, or what we or the economy, or etc. It's us, and we already know. People are saying that we are the youngest population in the world. Some of us are no longer youth, but but there's so much more that we have as a people. The way we're just created, the unique capabilities, etc. So whether it's football, whether it's braiding hair, whatever you find yourself doing, do it with all your heart, and believe, if this is what I was meant to do, it will create a pathway for, whether it's resources that, we kept talking about earlier, whether it's, discovering your purpose in God. So that's how I'd encourage you. Believe, and nothing shall be impossible with you. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that you've said nothing. There's a part she insisted on, that nothing. Like, you put so much emphasis on nothing is impossible once you believe. Thank you so much, Mary, for coming to my show. Thank you so much for gracing our show. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching this episode. Please leave a comment down below. In case you have any questions, any concerns, or any comments, please comment down below. And thank you for always tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as I have. I hope you've loved it as much as I have. And until next episode, kwaherini sana, 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 sana.
Can I qualify? Nothing shall be impossible with God.
Yeah.
Yes.
With God. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.